Intelligence is the very important asset that a lot of people wants to have, and a lot of people is asking that how it can become more intelligent. First of all, intelligence is not about information. It's about ability to connect all the dots and understand it more rather than just reading somewhere. So don't misunderstand between obtaining information and being intelligent. So to be more intelligent, number one, is all about finding good teachers or advice or information. The more input that you have, the more knowledge that you got. Of course, in order for us to have better understanding or better intelligence, it also starts from obtaining more data until data transforms to be information, until information becomes your understanding, and that's when you become intelligent. So the more that you find out about this information, the more that you learn, the more that you listen, the more that you read, the more knowledge that you have. There's a saying goes that wise man has something to say. A fool has to say something. So whenever you really have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, then you have something to share, rather than just say something but you don't really know it. Number two, ask questions. Information is something that everyone can have, especially with the modern technology today. It's out there in the internet. Everybody can have the same access to information, but the ability to transform that information into knowledge, into insight, into intelligence, into wisdom, that is different. And that has to come to the first task of asking question of what, why, and how. First, you ask the question what in order to find out the definition of something, how this defined. Once you really understand the whole concept of how this defined, and then ask the second question of why. What is the objective? What is the purpose of this knowledge that I have, this information that I got? So then I can utilize it properly when asking the third question of how I can put it into function. That will transform regular information into knowledge, wisdom, and insight. 3. Analyze and experiencing. After we have all this information, after we go through conceptualized process to understand what, why, and how, so we analyze them all and experience it, put into action, because the best way to learn is to learn through experiencing, to analyze it, not just to read about it and become it. It's like if you want to sail a boat, you cannot just read about how to sail a boat but never go into the ocean. You really have to go out there and really try it until you develop the skills, because that's what experience gives you. It gives you the skills. So put into action, into experiment, experiencing, and then you will really become knowing about it. You will become intelligent about it. You become wise about it. Number 4, review and record. A lot of time we keep repeating the same mistake over and over again without making any changes. If we review how we have done so far and how we can make it better, that actually will help us to gain wisdom, because the best way to learn besides experiencing is to go through this failure and mistake. So we learn 10 different ways of how we become ineffective until this is the best way to make it effective. That's actually how we really learn it. So review all these mistakes that we have been through, all these experiences that we got, and then record them all, because recording can help reminding yourself what I have done so far, what experience or experiment that don't really work. So review and record them will help you to understand yourself better, and that's when you gain more intelligence.